Someone's got a YouTube channel called The Bracket Factory. There's obviously a lot of bracket making in this sort of thing. So I've got my cardboard template, wasn't quite big enough, so I put some masking tape on, folded it around, make it a bit bigger. This is all quite rough and ready stuff. I then used an actual ruler for doing some of the straight lines. And then I'm going to tidy up the corners, just drawing around a found object. So sometimes it's a jam jar lid, sometimes it's a washer. Marking things up like this, I find a Sharpie is sort of my tool of choice. Sometimes a really soft pencil like a 4B pencil. I don't like the scratching sorts of tools, which aren't really necessary now. You can buy things like Sharpies, which you couldn't do in 1950 something. So that yellow bit is a drill attachment, and in there is a drill plugged into the switch, and then there's a little die that goes up and down in there that takes bites out that drop into the tobacco tin. I love a fret saw, and it works very much like a fret saw. This whole approach of you cut a bit of cardboard to size, trim it, stick a bit of tape on, trim that back again, is it's really productive. And what it's relying on is you're doing the designing and the making. What's great with computers is you can email it to someone in the other side of the world, and they can make the exact component and post it back to you. But if you're just a one-man band and tinkering in the shed, this is a really good approach and completely valid. You've got to make it up at some point, whether you make it up in a computer model or you make it up sitting on your garage floor. It's still design. In terms of how it cuts, it's quite a nice thing. You can let go and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't bite, it doesn't throw, it doesn't pull to one side. The physical cut's quite wide, which you've got to allow for. You've really got to know which side of the line you're cutting. But I find if I've got a thick black mark, I can cut down the middle of it and leave a little piece each side. So it's quite accurate. I don't feel the need to use a fence for straight lines or templates or anything. But of course, if you cut a little bit big, you can always trim back with abrasives, be that a grinder or sanding or files or something. Various sorts of bender, but that does strike me as cheating. I've got plenty of leverage to get that started. Some stuff will have to be done on the car because I'm not 100% sure of that angle, and this hole goes through both of those, so that angle needs to be set before I drill that. But I know a better template would have helped, wouldn't it? Last bit I can finish with a sander or grinder or something. I'm going to do them all as screw holes, and then I'll enlarge the bolt hole. And what I use as a woodworking countersink is actually a deburrer. So I'll tweak the angle using 2 pairs of pliers, and I'm going to drill the hole through both. I've had 10 minutes of metalworking, still no blood, and I want to keep it that way, so I've clamped that in case it snatches. So I changed my mind about how far over. I can put a bolt through that, hold it all together, and trim that into one nice smooth curve. Well, that's it for today, but I might come out at midnight or something, have a little tidy up. But good bit of progress, and it's nice to use this for something. Hold in with screws, not bolts, but it does feel extremely solid. But the little bracket is lovely, and that is a very sturdy clutch foot rest, and it's physically very light, and being wood it's resilient and won't mind banging against the gearbox, so I'm very pleased with that. Another morning, and it's a nice feeling coming down looking at that and being pleased with it rather than thinking, oh, am I going to redo it?